Hello, welcome back. Got another video for you this week. I'm planning on weekly uploads for as long as I can get them. There'll probably be a lull when I start to run out of ideas and whatnot, but for the time being I've got definitely enough content to keep you all satisfied. And so because I don't have the script ready for any top 10 videos this week, I've decided to show you all my Ainley Master Custom, which as you can see before you is Ainley's Master. Credit to Captain Jimmy Pie on YouTube for giving me the inspiration to do this video. He did his slightly differently, as you'll see shortly, but credit to him for the ideas of what to do. And so if you're watching this, thank you very much. Big inspiration. So this is the figure in its entirety. As you can see, I've got a little setup because I've finished the laboratory scenes for revitalization of the Cybermen. This is the figure in its entirety, and I'm very happy with it. If I'm honest, I think it resembles Anthony Ainley's usual master look, because obviously all we got of him was the suited version from Planet of Fire. And I think this looks very good on him. I'm very happy with how it came out. I'll probably touch it up later on just to perfect it, but as it stands right now, I'm very satisfied. So looking at a rundown of how the figure was actually made, it's obviously a Planet of Fire Anthony Ainley Master head. I just popped that out of the suit, just dunked it in hot water and pulled it out. And the body is from the Roger Delgado Master. If that wasn't obvious, it's a fairly recognizable figure. Now, the main issue I had with this was the fact that the head has a little peg in it, whereas the body had a peg coming out, so that you could replace the master's head with someone else, but it would be a peg fitting into a peg, like a male plug into a male plug, or two empty sockets going onto each other. So what I did was I considered just drilling a hole into the Ainley head and just seeing if it would fit on to try and replace it. But I also thought, I'm going to paint it. I'm going to make slight modifications to it, so I don't think sticking Roger Delgado on it or anyone else's head on it would be that much of an issue. So I've sacrificed the head rotation, because this is now super glued on, in order to just make sure that it sits on securely. And I think it looks pretty good. The neck is pretty flush with the collar. It comes up to his neck the way it did, but you still got the lower section sort of thing, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I stuck that on. That was the only major modification, and then I can't zoom in anymore, so I'll just try and bring it closer. As I mentioned, I've trimmed off the little area around the front where his dog collar would be. I know he's not got he's not a priest, but where that area would be. And around the front here, I've just trimmed off the front bottom of the jacket so it hangs a little bit lower, and that actually increases the leg articulation as well, so that goes up a bit further, which is nice. Paint wise, there was very little to do. Again, it's a very simple figure. I've just drawn with a toothpick dipped in some gold paint. I've just done buttons all the way down the middle here. That's what I'll probably touch up later on, because as you can see, they're not 100% accurately done. And the zigzag around the collar here, which I was very happy, because that was the first attempt at doing it, and it turned out pretty well. There's no major difference in the pulsing or anything like that. They both end pointing downwards on both sides, and they're both relatively even. So yeah, I'm very happy with how that came out. And you can still see it because it's not the best paint job I've ever done, but around where the white cuffs would be from his shirt, I've just started to paint them black on both sides. It looks better on his left hand than it does on his right. But yeah, that was all the modification that I needed to do to it. Again, a simple figure to do, but due to the fact that the Ainley Master is expensive to come by, and the Roger Delgado Masters, depending on where you get them from, aren't exactly the cheapest things either, I'd suggest Yeah, if you have one spare or you're not interested in keeping the Ainley suited figure, like I wasn't, I wouldn't have any use for him in an animation with a suit, whereas his usual look would be a lot better. So I just went for that. If you're happy to do that, then by all means try this out. You know, all you need is some gold paint, some black paint, a toothpick, and probably a pair of side cutters. That's all I needed. Or maybe a Dremel, some sandpaper, something like that if you want to get it spot on, but I'm not that fussed. Like, you can still see he's got the pocket on the top. He doesn't have the, you know, riffs, the, I don't know, the pads on his shoulder that beef up his shoulders and make him look, you know, I don't know, Edwardian sort of thing. So obviously it's not supposed to be perfect, and I don't have a tissue compression eliminator accessory to go with it, but you know, I don't mind. It's, you know, still looks pretty good. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's a simple figure. There's really not that much to say about it. There was no sculpting involved, which is good. It's just the snipping of the peg on the neck. You know, that's if you're not fussed about articulation. If you want to keep articulation, then you can go down the route I was originally going to do and just try and drill a hole into his head, or, you know, drill into the actual figure, see if you can remove the peg there and keep it. But personally, I think it's too much hassle. You might as well just keep it, because with the way his chin sits in his neck, you'd only be able to turn it, you know, about 30 degrees either way anyway, before you'd run out of space and it'd just start brushing against the collar. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're, you know, actually watching it, because I noticed that a lot of my recent uploads aren't getting full views like I was hoping they would. Like, granted, the main videos aren't supposed to be taken seriously, but these actual weekly ones that I'm putting up, you know, I was hoping they'd get watched. So if you're watching this, big thanks. I've got one more custom that I've got ready to record and edit whatnot, which is just lying on the shelf next to me. I've got, I'm thinking about top 10 videos, give or take. Of course, I've got the animations. I am toying with the idea of, I was planning to do 3. I'm thinking, because it's my last year of school this year, I'm going to be busy. Maybe 3 is too much, cutting it down to 2, which then possibly leaves the chance for a Christmas special, because that'd be shorter and easier to do. So yeah, animations, I've got a few scenery creations planned as well, just easy ones, you know, only involving a couple of figures and basic sets to build, whatnot. So animations, don't hold your breath over, because they of course are time consuming, and time is one thing that I don't know how much I'll have. But yeah, top 10 videos, they're easy to do. These custom videos, they're easy to do. I've got a couple of customs in the works, actually. If you're following me on Twitter, I'm currently working on a pterodactyl, which is a big task. I've also got things like a Fisher King planned, a 70s Silurian, so they might appear later in the year, but don't hold your breath, because I'm not good at sculpting. If you saw my Vord video, you can agree with me on that. So yeah, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other relatively simple customs that you think I might like to try, please note that I'm a massive classic Who fan, so if it's, you know, something from the classic series, I've probably already considered it, but, you know, let me know anyway. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, just, you know, say, I enjoyed this. There's not much else you can do. If you're new to my channel, you know, and you like what you see, well, this stuff will probably come out more often, so, you know, stick your head out every now and then, give us a look. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. That's really all I've got to say, and I will see you all next week.